Okay, so we're going to start with call to order. So this meeting is called pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Law. This meeting of September 8th, 2020 was included in a meeting notice sent to the Burlington County Times and Courier Post way back on January 8th, 2020, and advertised in said newspapers on January 10th, 2020 and January 11th, 2020, and respectively posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building on January 9th, 2020, and has remained continuously posted as required under the statute. In addition, a copy of this notice is and has been available to the public and is on file in the office of the municipal clerk. So we're going to do the flag salute first, please. Everybody rise. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So the first item of business is to approve the regular committee meeting minutes of August 11th.
Roll call.
Roll call, sorry. See that? That's why I needed your pen, so I could tick it off. Okay, can we have a roll call, please?
Committeewoman Gilmore?
Here.
Committeeman Costa?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Schneider? I think she's late. Committeeman Klaus?
Here.
And Mayor McLaughlin.
Yes, okay. So first item again is the approval of the regular committee meeting minutes of August 11th, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Costa?
Yes.
And Mayor McLaughlin.
Yes. So we have a, well, let's do the report section first. So we have the tax collector, code enforcement, fire official, construction, and the emergency service reports to approve for August 2020.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, vote please.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Costa?
Yes.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mayor McLaughlin.
Yes. So for discussion slash presentation, we have Daniel Nichols to do a presentation. So if you'd like to come up, Mr. Nichols. Let the record reflect that Committeeman Schneider is here now. I saw you looking for a parking spot.
We call it committeeman.
Huh?
Committeeman.
Committee man? Okay. Committee person. There you
Committee
go.
woman.
The committee woman.
Committee woman.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. So my name is Daniel, and for my Eagle Scout project, I would like to build buy banners and put them around the Hainesport Park in honor of deceased veterans from the Gulf War, the Vietnam War, World War II, and the Korean War. So these flags the banners cost about $250 to $300. I still haven't contacted the company who makes them. I wanted to get your guys' approval to do this before I really started getting into that. But so fundraising for this project will be hopefully mostly from the families of the deceased veteran. Hopefully they can pay the amount, but if they can't, I would be looking at local companies, and hopefully they would provide the money, and they would also get like their name on the banner in like honor of them. Do you guys have any questions? Yes, Ms. Schneider.
So all of these deceased have lived in Hainesport and fought in these wars?
But can you repeat that question one more time?
All of the deceased that you're honoring have fought in these wars, resided in Hainesport?
Yeah, so what I'm gonna try to do is either deceased veterans that have lived in Hainesport or like their families currently live in Hainesport.
Nice, very nice.
Question, I was in Pennsylvania, I was in Jim Thorpe
Yeah.
a couple days
I
ago.
saw it.
Something like that, you mean?
Yep.
They're very nice.
Exactly like that.
They got the picture there,
Mhm.
maybe some brief information.
Yeah. And like who sponsored it pretty much and like what war they fought in, the year, like stuff like that.
That was a good
Good.
idea.
I have one concern. How high are they going and what type of wind load? I have a little issue with banners on certain structures. It increases the wind load on it. I'm not against it. I think it's a great idea.
Okay.
What I would request is when you contact the banner company, you can get minimum wind load supports that actually flex so that whatever we're attaching them to doesn't, like light poles and all, they're actually designed for wind resistance, how big the head is on them. So when you add a banner, it's so much greater than the light fixture. So I would say keep that in mind.
Okay.
When, height is a big deal. If they're too high, that adds extra stress.
Okay.
And if the banner pole supports flex in the wind. I don't know if that's going to add cost, but it's a concern.
Okay.
All right? But I think it's a great idea. Matter of fact, I admire it. That's awesome.
Are there flags around the county that are similar to the ones that you have in
There's
mind?
some.
Because you can just ask them.
There's some around, but I think they're in Pemberton, but
You
I'm
can
not.
ask them where they got theirs.
Yeah, so they're kind of like a model for us, so we kind of like just work off of them.
Thank you, that's a really good idea.
Thank you. And
Another
another
question.
question I have is, so when I find the veterans, I was wondering if you guys could be like a contact, like if they could contact you guys, because I'm not allowed to give out my phone number considering I'm a minor.
I'm fine with it.
Okay, so,
My father fought in my grandfather fought in World War II infantry, so I'd be honored to be
okay,
a part of that.
okay, thank you.
Excuse me, would they be up for a certain period of time, or is it for the year-round, or?
Year round.
Year-round.
They go up Labor Day, which is like the date you guys wanted them like to be up and presented, and then they'll stay year round.
Labor Day, not Veterans Day?
Um, It's up to you guys, I mean,
Just
It's up to
curious.
you,
And
it's your
also, it's like a
project.
time-
It's your
Because you're honoring
project.
the
Yeah.
veterans, that's why I thought.
Well,
maybe
take
it'd be
control.
veterans.
well,
It's your project,
it's,
what do you want?
yeah, I mean, yeah. Depends.
Whatever you
I
want.
could get back to you guys on the date, but.
So Paula, would we need just a verbal okay, or does a vote need to be taken? Verbal okay? Good? So I'm just going to give a voice vote, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? There you go.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good job. So we have one ordinance tonight. It's ordinance 2020-7.
I think we have, open up for the public
Oh,
comments first.
okay, we do, yes. So before I get into the ordinances, we're going to open up public comment, and it's for agenda items only. So if it's on the agenda tonight, feel free to make a comment. Open comment will be later in the meeting for any issue. Anybody want to make a public comment? Anybody on the telephone lines want to make a comment?
I just unmuted everyone on the platform. If anybody's online that'd like to make a comment on the agenda items?
Okay. So we do have one ordinance tonight. It's 2020-7. It's titled "A Comprehensive Ordinance Amending the Township Code as Part of the Township's Codification Process," which basically means that our Solicitor John and Paula are reviewing pretty much all of the laws and ordinances on the books in Hainesport. This is a process that, from what I'm hearing, hasn't been done for quite a while, and it's a very, very involved job. I commend Paula for taking this on, and John also, but we have this ordinance that will basically give them permission to do it. So here we go. If somebody would like to make a motion?
Motion.
Okay, second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Can we have a vote?
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Costa?
Yes.
Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Mayor McLaughlin?
Yes. So we have a decent amount of resolutions tonight. I'm not going to gloss over them. I'm just going to read them and open them up for questions by the committee, and then we can have a vote at the end. So the first resolution would be 2020-139-9, and this is authorizing specification and solicitation of bids for our solid waste contract, which is coming up to remove our trash. So if the committee has a question, please chime in. Resolution 2020-140-9 is to authorize renewal of a liquor license, and I think it's the old flows again, right?
There's actually several.
There's several of them going on? Okay, so it's the Lee and Eddie Dunleavy's, AKA Dunleavy's, the Bradford Operating Company, which is on 190 Moran Highway, Fulmar, another on 38, and GNC license. So we have four liquor licenses.
Say GNC.
GNC, yes. That would be the old Corollas, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So if we don't renew these liquor licenses, you're not going to have anywhere to go to drink in town. So we'll get to that one later. Anybody have any questions or comments on that one? Okay, there's another resolution authorizing a transfer of a license. So it's Marrow Brothers to Fulmar Corporation. We understand there's a change of hands going on there. So that's Resolution 2020. Resolution 2020-141. Resolution 2020-142 is rescinding an older resolution which authorized the approval of a liquor license for Rancocas Lakeside LLC. Can you explain that one?
Sure, that's the pocket license that has been held for the old Flows
Okay.
license. And unfortunately, I requested prematurely your authorization to approve that license. It is still under consideration by the state, and they called me and requested, it's just an administrative formality to rescind that approval until they are done formally reviewing their request for their current renewal of their pocket license.
Okay. So Resolution 2020-144-9 is authorizing the execution of a contract with Brownfield Environmental Systems for some more remediation on a site in town. Resolution 2020-145-9, awarding a contract for amusement rentals for our tree lighting ceremony the end of the year. And Resolution 2020-146-9, authorizing a 3-month extension to agreement with the Burlington County Board of Chosen Freeholders for New Jersey Drug and Alcohol Prevention Program grant. So we have a grant.
Are they freeholders or commissioners?
Well, it's going to be changed to commissioners soon, someday, I guess. I just noticed there was some other counties up north that have freeholders also. So those are the resolutions. If somebody'd like to make a motion to pass these bulk consent resolutions, we'd appreciate it.
I'll make the motion. 143.9
Right.
and a -9.
Right. So we have a motion.
With including 2020-143-9.
Right.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, vote please.
Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Costa?
Yeah, I'm going to vote yes, except I have to abstain for any resolutions dealing with liquor licenses because some of the liquor licenses have been owned by clients of mine.
Okay, so you're abstaining from 140-9?
There's a couple there dealing with liquor licenses.
Yeah, yes.
Are you also abstaining from 141-9, the transfer of Fulmar to Marrow?
Correct.
And you're abstaining from the rescinding resolution as well?
Correct.
142-9?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mayor McLaughlin?
Yes. Okay, so we have some normal resolutions. Resolution 2020-147-9 is accepting the the recommendation of the Township Joint Land Use Board regarding boundaries of a proposed area in need of non-condemnation redevelopment and/or rehabilitation pursuant to the New Jersey Local Redevelopment and Housing Law. We're talking about some properties over, across the street from the Wawa on 38, that we've been working with the owners of those for many, many years to try to get some development in there, and with the economy the way it is today, it looks like it just might happen. So the township is trying to take a proactive role in spearheading some good common sense development along with the landowners for that area. So this addresses one of those. There's two properties that comprise that. One is the Revicchio tract, and the other, I'm going to say, is the Molschlegel tract, which is the old Volkswagen dealer. So not knowing lot and blocks and all that good stuff, one resolution does one and the other does the other. Scott, would you like to say something about this, or are we just throwing the ball at you?
I can do a quick summary.
Okay, go ahead. I think it'd be beneficial to the audience.
Thank you. As the mayor indicated, and good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
As the mayor indicated, on November 12, 2019, the township requested that the Joint Land Use Board undertake an investigation to determine whether or not these parcels identified on the map as reflected in Resolution 148 and 149 do in fact meet certain statutory criteria to be determined either A, a non-condemnation redevelopment area, or in the alternative, a rehabilitation area. Again, that was Resolution 2019-161-11. The Joint Land Use Board in our office prepared a study. Public hearings were conducted in July and August of this year, where we inventoried the 17 parcels that are identified on the map. It totals about 42 acres. The majority of those properties are located in the HC zoning district. The ones fronting along Mount Laurel Hainsport Road are located within the R1 residential district. The properties, as you can see on the exhibit, are fronted by Route 38, Fostertown Road, and Hainsport Mount Laurel Road. As the mayor indicated by reference, the old Bachman Volkswagen is up in this location. The Revicchio or Longbridge Farms properties are along the left or western part of the area. And we also have 5 single-family residential units that are located along Hainsport Mount Laurel Road. Essentially, to summarize, what's reflected in Resolutions 148 and 149 is that the plan recommended and identified that all the yellow parcels met the very specific statutory criteria to be considered a non-condemnation area in need of redevelopment. Now that's very important because it does not allow the municipality to exercise any of its powers under eminent domain. So any involvement within this redevelopment area would be completely voluntary on the part of any landowner. The second part of that was there were parcels, and under the definition of a redevelopment area, the statute allows for parcels to be included within a redevelopment area, which may not in and of themselves meet the statutory criteria, but which are determined necessary for the overall effective redevelopment of that area. Those parcels are identified as parcels Q and parcels J. And you can see in this dark outline, and I believe it's page 28 or 32 in the copy that you have in front of you. So what this does is it establishes and recommends that the parcels outlined in blue, the yellow and green, be designated as a non-condemnation area in need of redevelopment. For the remaining, there are 7 parcels that contain 5 single-family residential uses. Our office and the Joint Land Use Board concurred after both meetings that it was not appropriate for them to be included in the overall greater redevelopment area, but it would be appropriate for them to be included in a rehabilitation area designation. The study area met the rehab designation because I believe it was 83.3% of the homes within the overall area are 50 years old or greater, but they're all great single-family homes in good condition, and the board felt it was appropriate for them to not be designated for redevelopment, but to remain in rehab. What the rehab designation does is, it would allow somebody who wants to purchase a home, one of those homes, or one of the existing landowners, if they wanted to enlarge the size of their home, for there to be a short-term tax exemption in the abatement. So it wouldn't necessarily be a reduction of their existing taxable, but it would essentially defer for a period of up to 5 years under that. So the 2 resolutions that you have, Resolution 147 references just those properties known as the Muleschlegel properties, and Resolution 148 references all of the Long Bridge properties as well as those rehabilitation area single-family uses. This is simply the designation study. This is about a 12-step process, and we're about step number 4. The next step, so this doesn't have any redevelopment proposal associated with it yet. The next step would be for the township to develop a redevelopment plan. That would set forth the permitted uses, bulk standards, and design standards for what could actually happen in those areas. And then once that redevelopment plan is introduced, that still gets referred to the Joint Land Use Board for master plan consistency, and then back to you all for second reading. And then even once that is completed, any redevelopment within this area still has to go through the typical Joint Land Use Board land development site plan and subdivision application as set forth by your ordinances and municipal land use law. So this is just, again, step 4 in a 10 to 12-step process, doing the designation of those properties as a non-condemnation area in need of redevelopment and a rehabilitation area for those 7 lots that contain 5 single-family residential uses on East Fork Mount Laurel Road.
Yeah, good job. So for the benefit of the audience, just to repeat, there's been some loose conceptual drawings that the town had looked at through a subcommittee, and they were actually at the planning board, if I remember correctly, but nothing's really proposed, nothing's planned. This is, as Scott said, step 4 in a 12-step process to help take a proactive role in aiding in the development of that property. So with that, does any of the committee have any other questions?
Scott, good job. I'm all in favor of developing that site with commercial ratables. And what we're doing, correct me if I'm wrong, is making the area more flexible for commercial development, regardless of the way the single-family homes on the county road are zoned. This plan would hopefully make things more flexible for a developer, more easier for a commercial developer to develop that area and turn it into commercial ratables, right?
It does, and it also allows the town a bit more control to try to guide where certain things go and what those uses are. request some additional buffering along some of those residences, and request certain uses in certain areas, and try to come up with a plan again that capitalizes on that highway commercial growth and economic revitalization that our master plans have been talking about for decades. And this is a good mechanism to try to effectuate that.
Or the residential homeowners can sell their properties, presumably for a profit, to a big commercial developer, right?
So they could, the joint land use board in these resolutions, actually, as part of a rehabilitation area, didn't necessarily envision sale as part of that. That can be evaluated as part of the redevelopment plan analysis, that if any of those homeowners did want to participate or thought that rezoning to a commercial zone was appropriate, that can happen through this process.
Right. Okay, thank you.
So everybody needs to bear in mind, we need a willing buyer, and of course, we do have two willing sellers there, but the town just doesn't decide to put a ice cream stand there and one pops up. So some people, you hear bantering around town, why didn't they do this, why didn't they do that? Well, it's not up to us necessarily, it's up to somebody who wants to buy and run a business there, and/or whatever the seller can attract to his property. We're just making it easier to get the process rolling quicker, possibly incentivize certain buyers to help them locate their business here. So that's what's going on here. So it's a good plan, and I wish we're really got a lot of opportunities right now in Hainesport for development, and this is a big corner, and I think this should help move things along for there. So anybody else have any questions?
No, it's a great job.
Okay, so we're going to ask that the first resolution, 2020-147-9, be voted on. So may we have a
So
motion?
moved.
Okay, and we need a second.
Second?
Okay, vote please.
Mr. Costa?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mayor McLaughlin?
Yes. And now Resolution 2020-09.
Can I make a motion? Accept?
Okay, we have a motion.
Second?
Okay, and we have a second.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Costa?
Yes.
Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mayor McLaughlin?
Yes. So we have, I guess it's 8 business licenses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 business licenses to approve. Somebody would like to make a motion to do
I
that?
so moved.
Second.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Costa?
Yes, except for my friend who's a tenant in my building, John Adams. I have to abstain.
Okay,
And Mayor McLaughlin?
yes. So now we have comments from the public on anything that you would like to make a comment on. Yes, sir, Mr. Dutcher.
How you doing? Mike Dutcher, 106 Masons Woods Lane, Hainesport. This is about the resolution for number 10 with A and B, 147, 148. I hear Mr. Costa keep talking, this is going to be commercial. So I'm sure you guys seen, by the sounds of it, you've seen prints or what's going to be developed on this land. Is this land going to be commercial, all of it, or is it going to be condos, or is it going to be houses? Or are we trying to push as a township to develop it as commercial, like you've been saying?
So,
You brought it up, I'm not just repeating what you
I
said.
mean,
though.
if Ted had attended the planning board meeting, he might have seen, I don't want to speak for you, but since I'm mayor, I will speak. We don't know. We don't know what's going to go there. I don't think he's got a buyer yet. So I
I kept
really
hearing the
don't
word
know.
commercial, so I thought maybe when you did see the plans that they brought you.
Yeah.
That.
We saw a
we aren't
concept.
putting
Yeah, just a
commercial.
concept. It involved some possibility of some townhomes, But we don't know yet. We don't know what's.
So we don't know if there are going to be townhomes,
Well,
housings there?
that's step 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so stay tuned. The
Okay.
town will have, and the residents will have the availability to speak out and talk as things
I thought
progress.
maybe you've seen some, since you guys had seen plans for this already.
No, there's no buyers, there's no,
But you keep saying you've seen tentative, you've seen pictures.
well, we saw a building, boom, a building here, a building there, a building here, you know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
We just wanted to make sure that they didn't have it in their mind to put the Empire State Building over there.
Oh, I'm
So
sure
we saw,
Got the-
yeah, I'm sure he'd
Township
like,
in good hands there,
I'm
but I
sure
just
he'd
kinda-
like to, but, but that's what, we just saw a conceptual, but there's, unfortunately,
We're so far,
and he
we're
couldn't.
in the
he-
starting stages
yeah,
of this.
and he can't incentivize any potential developers or buyers there without going
Yeah, I
through
just
the
wondered,
process.
when I heard him say commercial, that maybe something was already in the works.
Yeah, I guess I should say something, yep. My point was simply that this ordinance allows the town to be more flexible in regard to development at that intersection.
No, I think it's a great piece of land, and, I wish him nothing but the best to develop that, I really do. And I really do think he's got the, township well at heart. I think he does, But when I heard you say commercial, I thought maybe when you said you seen pictures and there was pictures available, that maybe that there was
Well,
something
I'm
else
sure if
there.
Mr. Ravicchio, who's here, everybody knows, everybody in town, found a really great commercial client that fit his needs and goals for the
Right.
property, I'm sure that might happen, but I don't see a Kohl's or a Target or Sears, I just don't see it myself. I don't know if he's seeing something that I don't see right now, so.
Right.
Those days are kind of limited here for what's coming,
Yeah.
So,
No, it's a beautiful piece of property, so I'd like to see something.
yeah,
Built
absolutely.
on it, something nice, and I know it's coming out of your development right there, so it'll be something good to look at.
Yep,
All
absolutely.
right, thank you.
Anybody else? Yes, sir, Ken.
Hi, Ken Montgomery, 3 Wilkins Road in Hainesport. Just along those same lines, I'd just like to applaud the committee for looking into this redevelopment here and making it easier to do business in Hainesport. I mean, that's really what we want as homeowners here. It helps with the ratables, it helps lower our taxes, and then with all that type of money, we can continue to improve the town. So I just think it's great, and as Mike Dutcher just said, it's a great piece of property, and it would really be super to have that as a super development. So, yeah, just want to applaud you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ken.
Yes, sir, Mr. Murdy.
Is it possible?
Mark Murdy, 2614 Creek Road in Hainesport. I think it's a great idea, but I do travel Hainesport, Mount Laurel Road. I see all the stuff that goes on with traffic trying to get into the area where you live, and it's really a pain in the butt. So I'm curious, are you going to also widen the road? My next question is, because it's all up in the air, the 5 people that live there, what if they don't want to move? What if they've lived there for a while and they really enjoy it? What if they're happy and content? Is the township going to make them get out of there?
No, no,
Okay, good. So then the next thing I have is between Creek Road and the turnaround on 38, where going east from Creek Road off 38, there's a whole bunch of property back there. I just happen to be doing the census, and I have to find people who live in the houses. There's quite a few that look like they're condemned or beat to hell, or they're falling apart, and they're just waiting for the fire to come and trash everything out. I know we spent a fortune on that property right on the corner of Creek Road and Route 38, getting rid of all the contaminants in the ground. Is that ever going to pay off, or are we going to see about using that?
Well, first of all,
Property.
Mark, the township never paid a dime.
Okay.
It was all done with grants.
Is,
The state just keeps supplying Hainesport with a seemingly unended grants to investigate the pollution on that property, but it's still not cleared, but we have not paid, you haven't paid, I haven't paid a nickel as far as I know. Am I right? Because I was gone for a little while.
You are
Yeah.
correct.
No.
okay, I'm sorry. As a resident of New Jersey, I pay state taxes.
Yeah,
So
we
my
all do.
state taxes are paying for that, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
They have
That's all I
a-
say.
they have a-
It's being
they-
paid for, not the town.
Yeah, I mean, they have a fund that they
Okay.
use, and they're gonna have, whether they did that property or not, they're gonna have a fund to mitigate brownfield.
And then there's properties to the other side of that. They're kind of interesting. If you get a chance, go take a look at them.
Yeah, okay,
So
great.
there's a whole bunch of area in there that could be used also. That's about all I have for now. Thank you.
Anybody else? I think somebody's on the phone.
Are we done with the in-person?
Yes. Well, yeah. Anybody else in person would like to make a comment? Because I think we have some people on the phone.
Can I say something?
Sure. State your name first.
I'm Bruce Levinson.
Hi,
I live at 2 Foxport, East. So, can I speak now?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, great. This development would in other towns be considered a gateway development. In other words, people driving by will see this development at this intersection, an overall impression of what Hayesport is like. So it will really require a tremendous amount of the residents' involvement with regard to how this property is to develop. And I would certainly encourage a tremendous amount of participation. It's a very large development, or a very large area up for development, and it will need to fit what we believe is the character that we want to present. So I implore the community to stay involved as this progresses. It's going to be somewhat of a long process. I currently sit on the Township Planning Board, Zoning Board, and it will take a while. So we'll take a lot of fortitude to just continue this and stick with it. So I implore the community to do that and watch how this property develops. So that's just my comment. I want to make sure that there's residents who will participate and stay course.
Thank you. Anybody else on the phone?
Thank you.
I have unmuted everybody. If there's any other comments?
Okay, I'm going to close public comment right now. Next would be comments from our administrator.
Don't have much to report out. Our tax numbers for the third quarter, now that we are past the grace period, we're looking positive. Third quarter, in comparison to last year, we're at 94.96% collection compared to this time last year at 89.24% for third quarter. So we're up about 5%. And then overall, for all three quarters, year-to-date, we're at 97.34% compared to last year at 94.79%. So we're doing well on our collections.
And the reason why that's relevant is I know John is our solicitor, Paula, our tax collector, the Township Committee. We actually felt that there could be a huge drop in the payment of taxes with the COVID-19 shutdown and the, concerning the virus. And we anticipated courses of action that we may need to take. As you know, 3/4 of your taxes pretty much go to the school. And they don't give us a discount when residents don't pay their taxes. So this is real good work on the part of Paula and her administration. And I know it gets John out of a bind trying to figure out where we can get them, putting together all the paperwork to borrow money. So thank God looks like we escaped that whole deal here in Hayesport. As the news does educate you, a lot of cities and a lot of towns and a lot of states have not escaped this situation. So thank you, Paula. Thank you very much. So anything else?
I just wanted to report out that the road program, 2019 road program is underway, and the CDBG project, I believe, is almost completed, and that is in the downtown. And I believe they started milling in Sage Run, and they're getting ready to begin milling in the Glen at Masons Creek, so.
Yes. So, yes, we do have a lot of roads. I was a little nervous about that with the COVID, but I allowed myself to be talked into signing, these projects, and it was the right decision that was made to do this. I think 38's getting paved from all the way from 295 to 206.
They're doing the slurry sealing.
Okay, and straightening it out, that was, sort of got messy, and I think the Glen and Sage run. So I hope everybody listening is patient with us. Everything will be, every little issue that comes up will be taken care of. We've received a few phone calls here and there about trucks being parked in front of people's houses overnight and little corrections that need to be made here and there. So everything will be addressed as far as that's concerned. Okay, next is comments from our solicitor.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the committee. Just one real quick thing. At the last meeting, you adopted a resolution 136-8, which authorized us to file a motion seeking to intervene on behalf of the public in that ejectment action involving property owners for Cumberland Avenue. We did do that in the last week, the week before that. The bank notified people who were living in the house, and notified that received participate in that case on behalf of the community. And I think the motion is supposed to be decided sometime before the end of the month. So we'll let you know.
Thank you. So, anything else, John? That's it? Okay. Appreciate you working on that. And we have comments from the committee. I'll start on my right, Mrs. Gilmore.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to say thank you for everybody that attended tonight, both here in person and by way of the phone and the computer, the Zoom. And also to the scout, Daniel Nichols, who attended. It's a great program that he's working on. I wish him good luck. To piggyback on that, the township is doing something on November the 11th, Veterans Day, where they're having a Veterans Appreciation Day. And there will be some speakers and a box lunch available to Hainesport Township veterans that sign up in advance. There is a form online now, I believe it's up now, and people need to respond by the end of October to attend. So there's more information there. So it's the first time thing for the township, and it should be a very nice affair. I hope as many people as possible are able to attend. Just a couple other things. The senior citizens are meeting this Thursday, and then again the fourth Thursday of the month over at the Street Center. The Street Center's becoming busy again. It's been a very strange year with a lot of challenges, and I'm so happy to see some normalcy return with the reading to the preschoolers going on, and then we're going to have the movies in the park are starting on this Friday, the 11th. It's the first of 3 movies. It's The Secret Lives of Pets 2, and Chick-fil-A will be there selling product, and they'll be accepting pet food donations that for the pets in the local shelters. The movie that's playing at the end of the month is on the 25th, is Playing with Fire, which is a comedy. The Boy Scouts will be selling food and beverages, and the fire company will be there at the park prior to the movie to host various activities for the children. So they're free to the people attending, just bring a chair or a blanket to sit on, and social distancing with masks will be required. And to those who observe Shana Tova.
Ted?
Oh, good evening. Nice to see everybody. I'll be brief. I was hoping the scout would have stayed. I was going to tell him that I got a few customers for him. Number one, my dad was in World War II, so he's got $250 from me. And I'm sure these banners, these poster banners on the poles will look wonderful if it's anything like the ones I've seen in Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania. I know how much work goes into these Eagle Scout projects. I've had 3 Boy Scouts. I've got 1 Eagle Scout myself. And I was right there along with him, watching him and giving him some advice here and there. And I know how much work it takes. And I think those projects really build strong character in those boys. And so many of them go on to do great things in life. You know, they're just fine examples for today, especially. After what we've been watching in the streets, the riots in the cities in the past few months, it's nice to see young men like that grow up into a civil society and act responsible and accomplish things. We like to see more of that, and I hope it's contagious. Thanks. Have a good time, everybody. Good month.
Lee?
Yes. So one more meeting until the election, so that's exciting. I'd like to thank Ken Montgomery and Bruce Levinson for attending, especially Ken for attending many, many meetings. Going back all the way, the beginning, maybe halfway through COVID, I remember seeing you at every meeting. And it shows a lot that you're very concerned about the town. I also would like to thank all the employees who work behind the scenes Monday through Friday, who make us look good up here, especially Paula Costco for making us shine up here, and especially John Gillespie for being our human pit bull. That's an inside joke between us, but he's a delight, and I don't know what I would do without him. So that's it. Thank you. Have a good night. Get home safe. Thank you.
Jerry?
Thank you all for attending. I want to piggyback on the employees because I retired about 2 months ago, so I kind of work for myself. I'm around all day. I see our employees doing such a great job in this town. They're so responsive. I also do a lot of work when it requires getting permits in all the different towns. Our construction office is so responsive. It pretty much didn't miss a beat through this whole COVID thing. Where you go to other towns, you have to put it in a drop box, and maybe a month later, they tell you, send a check. I mean, our town's been very responsive, and thanks for the leadership of Paula. And,
Paula, yes.
I'm very happy to live here, and I'm very proud to be part of this community.
Grateful for the staff.
Thank you.
Please. Thank you.
So I wanted to mention that Mr. Murdy has a Eagle Scout for a son. I watched him grow up. He's a very fine young man serving in the Coast Guard is he still in Oregon still, Mark?
Yeah, Portland.
Portland, yeah. He's lucky to be in Portland. And he's a fine young man. And Ted has 3 terrific sons that went through Scouts. So I wanted to mirror the feel-good attitude. I really enjoyed being involved in politics. I've always enjoyed having a little bit of a say in how things went along, at least 1/5 of a say in how things went along in town. But I've also been very lucky to become educated in the process. I've had some very, very good people that I've been involved with. Reagan Design, gotten to know Scott, who's a master at his craft. Of course, John and Ted, over the years, guided our town. And when I hear of improprieties around here, like backroom deals and that sort of thing, you can see that this land process that's going on right here is done right out in front of the public. There's no backroom, no backroom deals going on. So we just had an incident. I guess a couple trees got cut down at the school, and somebody sort of tied the committee to that with some political, well, we don't have anything to do with the school. We don't run the school. We don't control their budget. We basically have nothing to say about the school other than if the school needs help. We snowplowed the school for many years. I think we even cut their grass. And whatever the school needs, this committee and all the prior committees that I had been involved in were right there to do whatever was necessary to help that school. So those trees that were cut down, that's the school decision. And I'm sure it was a good decision to cut those trees down, but I just want to put it out there to the public that we had nothing to do with that. And we don't run the school, so let's just make sure everybody understands the separation. Okay, that's my comment for tonight. We do have bills to pay, so I'd ask the committee to
So moved?
approve those.
I second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? So we do have an executive session tonight. It's to discuss the possible acquisition of property and a personnel matter. John, do you have any idea how long you can speed up? Okay.
20 minutes to a half hour.
Okay, so I'm going to have a 5-minute recess. Do we think there'll be any formal action taken after this executive session tonight, folks?
There may be.
Possibly. So there may be a vote on what we discuss. So if you'd like to know what that is, you can either wait or you can see it on the website or on YouTube. It's your decision.
Okay.
Okay, so with that, we'll start our recess.
Make-
I look at it.
Don't we have to make a motion to enter into executive session?
Well, yeah, we do. We do need a motion to enter into executive session.
Oh, yeah, hold on one second.
On
But-
the way out, I guess.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I move.
So,
So moved.
okay, so we have a motion to enter into executive session. Who made the motion?
Lee.
Who's second?
Aye. Yes.
Mark, how's your son? How's your son doing?
All right. Okay. Sorry, I've got 3 things going on here.
Ken, how you making out, buddy?
I'm sorry.
How you doing?
Yes.
I'm having fun.
Sorry to hear that.
I'm happy. Just busy
Yeah, we're doing the best we can, but-
busy with a lot of stuff. You know what?
We're gonna,
We're good. Yeah, I just lost my mother Friday. But
yeah, thank you. I will relay that on to them.
that's all right. She was 91.
Right.
You know, so we'll have to see how that takes, you know, but I've been busy with everything. It's nice being, even though I'm busier than I've ever been, it's
Yeah.
nice being retired. Well, you know what? Now I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Hey, got a lot of work.
And I figure, yeah, well, that too, but because I'm excited about getting my day started.
Thank you, Ken.